Hello. So I initially intended this video to be a introduction video, something that I could use to introduce myself and the purpose of my channel. I even wrote the script out and everything. However, I was having a lot of issues with this sketch and the video portion. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to look as good as it possibly could look. And there was a lot of pressure that I put on myself there. And I've never done anything like this before. I've been doing short video content for almost a month now. And that is so different from a long form process video that I was almost completely out of my element. I took so much time to set up this shot to begin with. You see all the intricate little details in the background. I spent probably 30 minutes setting up this shot. So when it came to the drawing portion of this video, I was already in that mindset of, okay, this needs to be perfect, this looks good, like this has to look good, otherwise like people are not going to care, people are not going to watch, people don't want to see crappy drawings. And that was where I messed up. I could not draw anything right for the life of me. Nothing I drew I was happy with. There was nothing on these pages that I felt like I could accept. And a little bit about what I draw and how I draw. I draw as a form of meditation and processing. I started drawing at a very, very young and trying time for me. I used art to get out a lot of emotions that I did not know how to express or could not express verbally. There was a lot of internal messiness happening at that age that I needed a place to get out. So as I was learning how to draw, that's what I used it for. It was a form of processing. So a lot of what I'm feeling in that moment comes out in my artwork. Now, the first sketch I did was all right. I mean, I had that this needs to be perfect mindset, this needs to look right, this needs to look nice, like that mindset kind of imbuing into the artwork. And then I messed up erasing the colored pencil and it became smudged. And that's when I started to get frustrated. I had already messed up a drawing. I was already in the headspace of everyone's gonna hate how this looks. Everyone's gonna hate how this turns out. And like, if this is going to be a bad sketch on the page, people are going to point that out and wonder why this one was such a mess versus the other ones that I'm going to be drawing after this. And it snowballed from there. I tried to push through. I tried to push through the drawing. I tried to keep on going and fiddling a little bit with it, but then I gave up and eventually moved on to the other piece. Now, you'll start seeing that all my lovely ladies are starting to look more and more angry. They've got the angry eyebrows going on, they've got the frustration on their face, they've got a frustrated pose. And it's just my emotions coming out like they usually do. Like, it's that silent processing, that silent background that is always in my artwork. And that's how art is supposed to be, I feel. So I decided I was going to go ahead and flip the page, and was in the headspace of like, okay, all right, we're going to start a new page. Those were just warm-ups. Hopefully I can actually push through and make this image perfect and make this image worth lining and finishing, because that was my initial intention. I was going to draw these sketches, and then I was going to ink them, and then I was going to color them, and it was going to be a beautiful page, a beautiful spread, similar to the ones you see all online, the ones that make you just like all inspired, and the beauty that they capture. And I wanted to be that, but I'm not at that level, and I understand that. Like, I am still very new in terms of my skill. I still have a lot to learn. I still have a lot of things I need to work on in order for me to be happy, in that sense of these skills are in a good enough spot where I can actually properly communicate my emotions through my artwork, and I'm not there yet. So with all these mental images in my mind of these beautiful drawing pages and spreads and everything, that was my goal. I was going to complete a whole picture, and it was going to be great. And that's not how it worked out. And I wanted to really talk about how hard that was for me. So in the picture that I started drawing on the opposite page, I just had this feeling of like trying to control every minute detail, trying to control every little thing, like before even completely turning on the camera for this part, I had spent 30 minutes setting all this up. I spent so long tweaking everything. I moved that set piece so many times just to get it right. And I know this is what comes with the territory. I know that this is part of the process. It's just, I experienced this for the first time. So all this controlling minute detail work, I started drawing this picture, and I was getting doll vibes. I was getting marionette, like those puppets on a string, and the feeling of being positioned in a certain way, trying to be perceived in a certain way, so trying to move each aspect of myself in that position. And it was hard. It was really hard. I was just frustrated throughout this entire process, so I didn't like anything. I didn't enjoy it at all. And that sucks. And I know that this may be just the first few times I'm going to be attempting this. I know this is going to be something that I may have to grapple with over and over and over again, just because I know I'm never really truly going to be happy with my artwork. It's something that, as all artists face, you are your worst critic. You are the one that's always going to constantly tell you that you need to improve on whatever. And other people may not even see that. Like, I don't know how you are going to perceive my artwork. I know how I feel about it, and I've expressed that. But I don't know what you will think. You may think it is on the par of those beautiful aesthetic art videos that you see online, and that would be amazing. I've never put myself out there in this way before. My goal is to be as human as possible. And the gross feeling I got with this process, the gross feeling of having to tweak and turn and position every little thing to be perceived in a certain way made me feel gross. It made me feel gross. I miss the humanity. I miss the video shot in a bedroom on the floor. They're doing it on this like off yellow carpet, off cream carpet. Like, I miss the humanity of it. I miss the true beginnings, and you don't get that on especially YouTube anymore. So I want to recapture that. But I've been listening to all those how to start a YouTube channel, how to do XYB things so that way you have good quality videos. And it just kind of got in my brain a little bit, and definitely like a little earworm, like a little parasite, kind of crawled itself in there. And I'm not saying that those tips and tricks and those pieces of advice are wrong. I'm saying they're wrong for me because I want to connect with people as authentically as I possibly can, as close as I can get to myself I want to portray on here. And I know there is going to be issues with that because, like, when you throw on the camera or when you open the mic app, you are going to censor yourself just a little bit until you get comfortable with actually speaking to avoid or a perceived mental image of the people on the other end, the person on the other end listening to this. I know there's always going to be a level of detachment. I know there's going to be a wall that's going to be there. But I want to get as close as I can to managing that wall, to chip away just enough at it so that way when I say things, when I share a piece of me, I want it to be received. My artwork, these videos, everything that I do is me, and I want you to see me. I've been drawing for so long. This has been my entire life, and I've never dropped it. I've never given up on it. I may have put it down a few times here and there, but like, this is such a huge part of myself, and I've been keeping it to myself for too long. I've been hiding away for too long. I've kept myself in the shadows and in the dark and hidden away for far too long. I'm not saying this out of ego. I'm saying this out of building myself. I have a lot to offer as an individual, and so do you. Whoever you are, you have so much to offer because nobody can be you like you. And you need to share that. You need to exist as true to yourself as you can, because you are the only one that can do that. And I'm trying to embody that as well. With that said, here's an adage that I have used to even post this video. I was going to delete this and I was going to re-record and hopefully get somewhere better. But perfection is the enemy of done. That has become my motto for this whole process. The posting on TikTok and shorts, making those short form content, making this video for this whole month, that has been playing on repeat in the back of my head. I've been using it to push through And also remembering that I have a lot to offer. I have a lot to share. I have a lot to show you. And maybe I have a lot to teach you if you struggle with getting to this point. So I'm going to end this here. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and listening. And I'm also going to be posting the unsped up version with some chill music in the background. You won't have to hear me ramble on, so that way you can just throw it on and maybe sketch or study. I always loved watching speed paints or seeing sketchbooks or stuff like that when I first started drawing. So that'd be really cool if some of y'all did that with my stuff. It'd be kind of a full circle moment for me. But anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like this, consider subscribing, and I hope to see y'all again. Bye-bye.